You are doing well this morning. I just had an amazing conversation with a friend, and I'll be sure to let you know when that is available. But in the meantime, hope your Wednesday is off to a great start. If we've not yet met, my name is Lydia, and I am all about empowering women to show up in their purpose and do so unapologetically. And today we're just going to call something out, okay? I posted in my stories on Facebook and Instagram about this amazing meme that's basically I'm sitting down on my computer, I'm going to do amazing things, and I'm going to conquer the day. And 4 hours later, I've done nothing. But basically, just kind of roll and move in circles. Okay. So we're going to stop moving in circles, and we're going to start making waves by doing this. So if you don't already have a pen and paper ready, be sure to grab one. If you are ready to just hop into this, we're going to keep it super simple, but really impactful. So here is the first thing to recognize. When you're running in circles, when you're moving in procrastination mode, it's because whatever that task is for you to do is either basically one of three things. It feels too big, it feels too impossible, or it feels either too late or too soon. Okay, so either the timing feels off, the size feels off, or the actual implementation, the steps feel off. Okay, so looking at those three, let's just take a moment to just go, you know what? Let's take the mask off the monster, right? Let's recognize that this is not actually something that's huge and scary unless we choose to believe it's huge and scary. Let's just pause for a moment and go into it. Okay, so first is it feels too big, it feels too overwhelming. Something that helps me tremendously is going ahead and using either a journal book or using some sort of sketch pad, some sort of journaling space for me to just write out all the things that are happening in my head, all the ideas. Because once it's out on paper, one, I realize that it's actually finite. It's not this infinite, huge 6,324,852 things to do. There's in fact 13. And I can handle 13. I can handle 13 a lot better than I can do some, huge number, right? And once I realize that, okay, it's finite, then I can either with myself or connecting with an accountability friend or someone that understands what it is that I'm attempting to do, and sit down and actually make out steps, baby steps for me to accomplish that thing. So instead of it feeling huge and overwhelming and I don't know what to do, we break it down into those steps. So that's one. Okay. The other can feel, well, this feels impossible for me. There's no way I can do it. I'm going to tell you, it's something that a dear friend of mine, actually several friends of mine, they all apparently got together and had this conversation. No, not really. But at the same time, they know this is a truth. And it's why I'm so grateful they're in my friend circle. It is this. Choose to change what you believe. And when you change what you believe, you will change your outcome. So whether that means having a session of unpacking and looking at why it is that I'm believing that it's impossible, maybe it is that I need additional help or resources to make it happen. Maybe it's the feels really big, just needs to be broken into steps. See, method one, right? But in many times, it's the belief of whether or not we can actually do the thing. It's connected to, well, why is it that I'm actually doing this in the first place? And when I know that whatever it is that I have in front of me to do is tied to a priority, my own personal priority for what matters to me, if it's tied to a core value, something that is a foundation, a bedrock of who I am and who I represent and what I'm called to do, then that gives me the starting point to say, okay, I'm going to choose to try this differently. I'm going to choose to approach this differently. And in so doing, I then can either do things like, if you're familiar with AFT, that's helpful. If it's journaling to get out the ideas, I'm a huge fan of Big Think as a way to just unpack so I can go in and just look at that and process through how I can work through this, what feels like a blocker and feels like just a limit on where it is that I'm going, and work to dismantle it. Super, super helpful. Okay. So either it feels too big, so we break it down into pieces. It feels impossible, so then we choose to break through and figure out what that block is. Okay. And then the third is either it feels like it's too late or too soon. And honestly, out of the three, the one that causes me to feel like, you know what, maybe I should just give up is that third one. It's the one where I missed it. I was supposed to do that a week ago. I was supposed to do that a month ago. I was supposed to do that 5 years ago. I had the chance and I missed it. I should have done that before I started in a new career. I should have done that before I had kids. I should have done that when I was younger. I should have. Or I'm not yet ready for that. I can't possibly do that. I don't have enough experience. I don't have enough connections. I don't have enough fill in the blank. Here's the thing. If it's in front of you right now, if it is on your radar right now, it's for a reason. Am I saying go ahead and do the thing? I don't know what it is that you have in front of you. So I choose to invite you to ask the question of why? Why now? And if you have a clear call that this is the time, then it doesn't matter if you're too young or you're too old. It doesn't matter if this was something you thought you were going to do 5 years ago or 5 months ago, but I don't know. I don't know if I have all the pieces. Even if it feels like you don't have all the pieces yet, that is an excellent place to be. You know why? Because it means that you are now called to experience a miracle. It means that you are now called to need to step out on faith, to step out in faith, to accomplish that thing. Does that mean that you're just going to sit and just wait for it to happen to you? No. But you are choosing to engage in such a way where you're saying, okay, let's do this. Let's take the steps, make it happen, and see where it goes. And if that is you, let me just tell you, moving from a place of feeling frustrated and stuck and into freedom is what I am all about, 100%. Okay. And so I have a Facebook group. You're welcome to join. You're welcome to be in that space to go, okay, how is it that I can now start to make moves? How can I finish off this year knowing that what I'm doing next is going to make an impact? How is it that I can choose to recognize, okay, this feels really big, so I'm going to break it down into steps, or I feel like I can't do it, and you figure out and you find that in truth you can, or it feels like the timing is off, but you know what? You say that timing in God's eyes is perfect. Now is the time. We can do this. Love to have you in that space to join us. We're actually going to be doing a journaling practice. We're going to do 25 days of journaling practice starting on Monday, December 6th. You're welcome to hop in. And it's all about getting our minds and our hearts ready for what's coming next. I know, I'm super excited. So have a great rest of your day. Let me see if there's anything here in the chat. Oh, good morning to you. I see this good morning there. Okay, good morning to you. So I look forward to seeing you in the group. I look forward to seeing you move past those places of just pause and procrastination. And I'll see you tomorrow.